Okay, apparently we're still in time for game one. Let's try to make Facebook Live work. Boom. Right. Okay, so now we're paying attention. I'm at Eternal. That's quite a special deck Matthew has here, because normally you would expect doesn't look like it's zombies, it's mono black though. Another one, Emerson Lardie, is on energy builds together with Eldrazi. Simic Eldrazi. Both of these are not traditional standard builds at the moment. Somewhat Not Seer does work really well with Badass expertise. Now, since I'm live streaming this, I'm probably not going to ask for permission to see hand cards. I'm going to let them know I'm recording. Walking Ballista from Matthew here. Not exactly going to be very good here. Long Tusk Cup being a real big threat that's hard to deal with here, and just, yeah, this looks like it's game for. This looks like it's pretty much Emerson's game here. Alright, so Drana, Liberator of Malakir, coming back down. Drana is good as an aggressive creature, but not good as when you're behind. And yeah, Battle's expertise just sends everything back, and Emerson takes down game 1 of Standard. Right, game 2 here of Standard. We entered the game again a bit late. We see probably what was turn 2 Glintsleeve Siphoner having attacked, and turn 3 Gifted Etherborn with Matthew having missed a land drop. Matter Shaper coming down from the other side. Glintsleeve Siphoner will be able to draw a card. Grasp of Darkness on the Matter Shaper. I don't think that Emerson's too sad about seeing a removal hit that Matter Shaper, as it's a creature that even if it dies, it doesn't lose you value. Of course, it does mean that Matthew can here just attack straight to the face, 4 damage. We see a Fatal Push hitting the Servant of the Conduit. Interesting that Fatal Push was used post-combat rather than... Of course, there's not really too much to be stopped there, but I think personally I'd probably keep the Fatal Push till his turn. Although, on the other hand, the ramp that Servant Conduit can give can be fairly important. See Liliana, the Last Hope, coming down here from Matthew. Not exactly great in this matchup, I think. Most of Emerson's creatures will be a bit too big for Liliana to deal with. It has allowed once more an attack to come through with Gifted Etherborn and Glintsleeve Siphoner. And we see a bounce here. Now we can bounce Liliana, the Last Hope, because that's not a creature or an artifact. But another top knots here coming down here from Emerson, picking away. And there's plenty to pick away here. I think likely Never to Return or Grasp of Darkness will be picked. Although you might also want to go for the creatures. Yeah, he chooses to go for Grasp of Darkness, which means that if Matthew wants to use 2 spells, he'll have to. If Matthew wants to remove the Thought Knots here, he'll have to use up pretty much all of his mana for the Never. I'm gonna put that here So we know kind of what Matthew's hand is. I just see a gifted eater bone come down here from Matthew. Now I kind of like that play because right now, if gifted eater bone doesn't get removed, then dot not zero can't attack. If gifted eater bone is removed, then the fatal push can take care of dot not zero. We see another paralysis expertise here. Now I'm kind of surprised that Emerson was thinking of doing that, because it's only one creature. It just doesn't seem like it's very good at this point. I think I'd probably just attack Liliana with the Rogue Refiner. That way either Liliana takes a huge amount of damage, or actually if I was on Matthew's side I also would have plus Liliana on the Rogue Refiner, so that wasn't a possible play. Liliana being at 4 loyalty here, ticking up every turn. I think you'll see a Rogue Refiner coming in for a smash here. No attackers, that's somewhat surprising. I did not expect no attackers to come in from that. Just leaving up mana. Nothing on turn 2. Oh, and a Rogue Refiner here from Elder Deep Fiend here from Emerson. One of the interesting things here is that you can tap down all the land, ensuring that, and Gifted Eaterbone, ensuring that Never to Return can't be played. Fate Push can be played, but doesn't have any good targets. He won't be able to play another creature. He'll be able to kill Liliana fairly easily. Of course, if Liliana is plussed. To weaken the Elder Deep Fiend. And yes, we see good play here. That's actually quite special because he used Fatal Push on his own creature to prevent and to be able to Fatal Push the top knots here. So normally that would be a 2 for 1. In fact, it's actually a 3 for 1. The top knots here does give an extra card. And we see Sanctum of Yugen being sacked here to try and chain those Elder Deep Fiends. Probably see Liliana being ticked up here to lower the attack of Elder Deep Fiends, ensuring that Liliana won't die immediately to an Elder Deep Fiend attack. What's the follow-up for Emerson? It's a tireless tracker. Does it have land? It does. That means a clue, and that's pretty good. And followed up with a long toss cup as well. Yeah, this is looking quite well. Quite good for Emerson here again. No opposing creatures. Baral's expertise in hand. Now the deep pin in hand. Clue to sack 5 lands. He's behind in life, but I don't think that will be very important at this point. See, never being cast here on the Elder Deep Fiend. We know he still has a Walking Ballista and a Glint Sleeve Siphoner in his hand. We also know he's drawn one Fatal Push at least, and I
Ja, het wordt precies.
let's see.
Ja, dan pak ik de rode wel, die dat er bij het bord ligt.
Right, what did we miss? Walking Ballista. Oh, yes, probably Walking Ballista was played for 1, then Liliana was plussed on the Tireless Tracker, and then the Walking Ballista could ping the Tireless Tracker to kill it. And this is was quite an interesting play from Matthew there. Second long toss cup coming down for Emerson here. Emerson being ahead in ball position. See, Glint Sleeve Siphoner here, not exactly the most impactful card in the game at this point, because we know that there's also still a Baral's expertise in hand for Emerson. We see a full swing here from Long Toss Cup. Now, Matthew doesn't have any good blocks here because Emerson can just bump his Long Toss Cups, and I think we'll see a bump regardless. Now, yes, we'll get 4 more energy. And Long Toss Cups will be able to be bumped again for 2 energy each, so they can become 4/4s now. One of them can even become a third Long Toss Cup. Now, will Matthew draw here? I think he's got enough life to do it, but those cups are increasing the amount of pressure. And again, drawing a removal right now would be very good. Sadly, if Matthew draws something like a Grasp of Darkness, he'll only be able to kill the weakest of the long-tusk caps, because if he targets a 3-3, that one can pump 3 times to become a 5-5. Or can even... Yes, even the weak one can pump 3 times to become a 5-5, so even that one wouldn't die. Three threes would become 6-6s. Scrap Heap Scrounger can't attack, but can deliver some pressure. I think at this point we'll see a Baral's Expertise hit the field here. First we'll see an attack. Interesting thing about the Green Desert here is that he might be able to pump one of his creatures pre-combat to try and get in the last couple of points of damage. Or force a jump block at least. Those long tusk caps are becoming really big right now. Post-combat Baral's Expertise. Blue really being a tempo swing in Simic. Instant speed murder to take down one of the long tusk caps. Matthew once more deploying to the field. Then Amit Eternal to strengthen down, to hold down the fort. Now, what does Emerson have? He can bump one of his long tusk caps up to 5 times. So, if he attacks with 2 long tusk caps, Matthew will be forced to block both of those long tusk caps, and he can actually just bump one of them, the one that is blocked by Amit Eternal, enough times. Oh. Oh, yes, and that's game. Matthew kept a 7-card hand, and Emerson mulled to 5 cards. We'll see how he handles that. Right, Serum Visions. I remember the term of ad nauseum, but I don't really remember what kind of deck that was. Either way, Matthew says he's not on it. Oh, and I think we'll get to showcase Emerson's Banned Spirits deck again, something that I really loved. I've tried it out a couple of times after the Challengers episode. Matthew played against it as well. He was part of the Challengers episode. I believe he was on a control list. Perhaps we'll see. That was a Just Kind Nahiri control list, so this is an Espa one. And it seems he used Collective Brutality to try and find a spell, but Banned Spirit's not playing a spell. Throwing away an opposite dodge. Guys are saying draft coming down here from Emerson being very hard to deal with, and guys can punch. Like, it is seriously powerful. Oh, and a Liliana of the Veil, which I believe can force Emerson to sacrifice his creature here. Matthew here ready to take advantage of his superiority in cards, but another Geist of Saint Trapped will be harder to deal with because Liliana's Veil only has one loyalty at the moment, and it probably won't be able to survive next incoming attack. Liliana of the Veil forcing Emerson to discard his Droxcall Captain that we saw from before. See what Matthew shows to discard here. Thoughtseize. Yep, that's not really going to be very handy when the opponent has no more cards in hand. Steal the Godhead here coming onto Geist of Saint Draft, making a 4/4 lifelinker that is unblockable. Unless Matthew is able to draw another Edict effect, I think Geist of Saint Draft is just going to win this game. It's a group Discord, so and we're in the voice channel of commentators. If you haven't checked it out yet, now it's time to do so. The name of Discord is called Xmage Players MTG, of course. That's the name of the group as well. Gifts Ungiven. Now that's a card I'm quite familiar with in Storm deck, but oh, and Unburial Rights. Still, I don't really see how. Right, Felix started watching. Perhaps he'll be able to commentate. Hey there.
Hey.
Right, Felix started watching. Perhaps he'll be able to. Yeah. Are you on the live stream? Are you watching the live stream as well right now?
Yeah, I watched what the girls did now.
Yeah,
so the sound is good.
that might actually echo if you.
Yeah,
Man, that Geist of Saint Traft is really wrecking Matthew right now.
yeah. Even with Fear of the Gods Enchanted. But I think if he can Barry rides back Iona, he should be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, even if he gets back Iona, it's still a 4/4 that 4/4 lifelink that's unblockable because of Steel of the Godhead.
Yeah, I forgot to read Unblockable. Got it now.
Yeah, it's one of Emerson's most favorite combos. When we talked about it when we did the Challengers episode, and
Okay.
he really likes the Steel of the Godhead on the Geist of Saint Traft, and I get why.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Path to Exile on the Angel just to save some life here. Talk about an act of desperation.
Yeah, if Matthew can't find another Liliana after a while.
I'm actually wondering whether perhaps he'll go for opposite burial rites on Obsidat to be able to gain some life.
Oh yeah, he has to stop that with the graveyard. Yeah, I think I would go for Obsidat, probably.
He went for Iona here first, try and.
Yeah. Did you also record standard?
Yeah, I recorded the standard games. I didn't get all of them. I went kind of late in the standard matches, but they were fairly quick. Was somewhat of not really the most how do you call it, traditional decks in standard. I believe Emerson was on a Simic Eldrazi build, and Matthew was on a mono black build, but it wasn't mono black zombies. Not sure what the theme of his deck was.
Okay. Yeah, there's a mono black mid-range Eldrazi deck coming up now. We did well at the GP last weekend, but I don't think it's tier 1 or 2 now.
It might be that that was a deck. I haven't really looked at all the new decks from the recent tournaments. And a hard casted Obstat here.
Yeah. That's why he bought back Iona, not the first Obsidat.
Yeah. Of course, Iona is also a kind of good hitter. So it does decide to just keep it back to block the angel so I can blink the Obsidat.
Yeah, he can block the ancient token because Obsidat doesn't have flying. So he would have taken 8. So he needs to block with Iona.
Oh yeah, I always feel like Obsidat has flying, but it doesn't. Do you know any of which cards could get Matthew out of this situation right now? Do you think?
Lily after Veil, if you run smaller one, but
Yeah, I guess any kind of edict effect would.
yeah, edict effects. Yes, I think I don't know his list, but some list run Blessed Alliance in the sideboard.
This is a pre-sideboard, so.
Okay. Yeah, so only thing I don't know how many Lilianas they run, but 1 to 4. I don't know. The only thing Liliana is the only draw he has.
Yeah.
Now he draws something like Elish Norn, so that he can reanimate Elish Norn and then can raise.
that would actually be a good card as well.
Rattle chains.
I think that might actually be lethal. Just because now he's gonna have 6 power in the air, and 4
Yeah,
power, hexproof, unblockable. If it doesn't have removal, if Matthew doesn't have removal, Rattle Chain's gonna do it.
Yeah, since also the Esper Goddess Vengeance deck, Esper Gifts deck is kinda controlling. So, if he doesn't have he needs to remove now since Noble also makes it lethal.
Oh yeah, Noble Hierarch giving the Exalted trigger to an unblockable creature is gonna finish the game here.
Probably.
Right.
Oh, Goddess Vengeance for upset that.
Just to gain that 2 life there.
Yeah, to survive.
Too bad it doesn't say at the beginning of each end step, because then now he could like blink opposite that every time and keep on doing
that
that.
would be so good. So I just looked up a list. The common lists don't run any Lilianas, but he is at least one. You could also draw and reanimate the Crystal Band. That would give him some life.
Yeah.
But only Crystal Band or Election on. Yeah, that's all. Election on or Crystal Band.
Does he still have the Unburial Rights? Yeah. Okay, and we see a concession here.
Yeah.
Right, that was game 1 going for Emerson. He also took down Standard with 2-0, so
Okay.
okay. Believe
Yeah. What?
I believe
What?
Matthew went down to 6 here because he only has 5 cards in hand. And
Yeah, chat says he's quite to the bottom. So on Emerson's side, I think he's bringing in Unified Wills and Rest in Peace. And
yeah.
For Matthew, he has Supreme Verdict. And I think that's it, probably. Some removers, some counter spells.
Yeah, Supreme Verdict can actually deal with the Geist of Saint Draft, but the problem is that it can also die to. This is quite interesting. Lingering Souls.
You can get very credit.
Yeah, can get exiled since it's not a counter spell for.
Yeah, and also if Emerson has Selfish Spirit, then it makes his creatures indestructible.
Yep. Emerson has quite a lot of ways to deal with board wipes.
Yeah, that's true. See, this guy's using draft again.
That was a card that won previous game. It's actually quite interesting to see where Matthew brought in more board wipes if he went for Lingering Souls, because that would also destroy his own creatures. Probably he would be more than happy to trade off those two.
Yeah, sure. But learning his draws is 3 to 4 of main in those gift decks. Since you can pitch them to brutality and also hardcasting, so it's still good.
Yep. Okay, you see a fourth land coming in here untapped, so that could represent. Oh, we see a gifts ungiven here.
Yeah, main phase gifts to avoid spec rattle. And since when you flashback a barrel rights, it costs 4 mana, but when you flashback cards, it checks the normal mana cost so you can break credit it.
Yep.
And here's the addition one. So if you can find a way to make his dice bigger this turn, or Emerson doesn't have counter spell, he will lose his board. And even now his Unified Realm don't work since it doesn't control more creatures than Matthew.
Yes. And Elish Norn here also making the spirit tokens into a real threat.
And you have 3 free spirit tokens. So at a nice clock, 3 turns without additional. So he's going to name spirits, obviously, with the cavern.
And we don't see a Drogskull captain here.
He might just have a collected company, but I don't think he wants to Coco now since his creature will die to additional if he doesn't. No, he does Coco now.
Yeah.
So if he finds a captain, he needs 2 captains to make them survive.
One captain will allow the Geist of Saint Traff to. Oh wait, no, then the captain itself would die.
Yeah, the captain itself would die and then all of a sudden.
And we see 2 captains coming down here. Oh my god, that is just brutal.
Yeah.
This also means there's another 3 damage coming in here from Rattle Chains, and
Matthew's down to 6 already.
yeah, I think the only thing that can really save him right now is Supreme Verdict.
Yeah. Supreme Verdict or yeah, it's Supreme Verdict.
Verdict or bust.
So he's going for Elish more,
I assume so.
but he still takes lethal.
That's
Still,
4.
if he blocks Geist, he takes 4/8, so he's still dead.
Yep. I think, like previously, I would have blocked differently on the Geist. Like, I would have blocked the Rattle Chains and the Angel. But I don't think that would have mattered that much.
If you block, you would have taken 4 damage less, so it would be a 10. But would have been also dead, yeah, so he takes 11 here. If Emerson would be attacking with Geist, he would take 11. Even if he blocked differently last game.
Yeah, so it would have still been lethal.
Yeah, I need something like Grizzlebrand or Gifts and Given. It's a Verdict.
Well, that was a fast game.
Yeah. And I think still Obstinate is favored, but not sure. Since Spirit is good against control deck, Obstinate is kind of a control deck, but the double Voxel Captain was really strong.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to see Legacy Game 1 here.
Yeah, so I know Matthew's on some sort of Lure Delver kind of deck. Also he was when we played Legacy Finals from last season.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the decks that they play because I haven't watched the previous seasons.
Yeah, I played against Emerson both seasons, I think, and Matthew in the finals from last season. So I think Emerson was on some sort of 3 to 4 color control deck with him. Or reanimate, I'm not sure. But I'm also quite a Legacy noob, so I only started playing Legacy because of the League, Season 1,
Yeah,
and picked up several decks and tried them.
I'm still also kind of a Legacy noob, and I haven't won Legacy in the league yet, but perhaps
So,
after a couple of games.
yeah, I've won all Legacy games so far. So here's the turn 1 Delver that gets forced,
Yeah,
pitching another force.
that really shows that the Delver is respected here because it can be a very strong game. And you see
Yeah, very fast. It's a very fast clock.
Monastery Swift Spear here.
And I think both decks are running days, so it could get spicy here with 2 days next turn. So Emerson is just going for a counter since I don't think he has another threat because both play small to 6.
Mm.
Looking, I think he's on Crixus or for Caladero now since he fetched blue and black. So he's looking for either Delva, Effort Channel, Air Impairment, so maybe or a second land and he has another threat. But he shuffled. No, he didn't shuffle. He drew Catacombs. So he's either Sultan Delva or for Caladero. But I don't think Sultan Delva is the common deck. The common deck is Crixus Delva.
Yeah.
That's all I know about Legacy.
Yeah, I really don't know which decks would play that right to man and all those things.
Death Shaman gets played in almost every Legacy deck. Some decks even splash for Death Shaman.
Yeah. That right shaman. I did hear that it was a very powerful card, but
Yeah, it's a very, very good card. It's good against. It's even good. It's like a mana dog, but it also has uses against the late game for gaining life or dealing damage, and also you can exile creatures from Reanimator.
yep.
So they can reanimate 22.
Right.
And yeah, here we see that the classic Legacy interaction from Brainstorm and Fetchland.
Yep. Interesting that I didn't actually choose to brainstorm pre-combat to try and get another land to cast another spell. I think that's the route that I would have taken. This does have like the possibility that you kind of bluffed in the attack that you wouldn't have a spell to trigger prowess. But I don't think that's.
But I wouldn't go with the Effort Shaman either. The risk of him having a spell is so high, and then you lose a Effort Shaman, and that's very bad.
Wasteland here being kind of a big play because they're both kind of short on mana, but Matthew being on 1 mana versus Emerson being on 2.
He's on 3 with the Effort Shaman.
Oh yeah, he's on 3.
And what I know so from this 4-color decks, or 3-color decks, they run something like 3 to 4 lands that make mana, and Legolas fetches. So they're playing 15 lands, I think. They can tap, also they can fetch and tap mana, and then 4 wastelands. So they don't have many lands for mana, so they often crumble themselves too much by wastelanding, but it's what you have to do in Legacy sometimes.
This is kind of interesting, like a daze being cast here on the Chain Lightning, and then another daze being cast on the daze.
Yeah, that's one of the legacy interaction that we only see in Legacy. Both players stepped out and took counter spells.
But I don't think that Emerson was actually tapped out here.
Oh yeah.
Which
I think
is
go to the mana.
yeah.
Or was it a hard cast days? But he could pay for the days, so
Yeah, I'm not sure where that was actually the best of plays there.
yeah. So if the Terror flips now,
Yeah.
yeah, we have this.
And Matthew is recognizing his punt there.
Yeah. So the Terror didn't flip, so it didn't throw a spell, and that's good for Matthew.
Yeah, I think he probably found the Underground Sea. Oh wait, no, that's the one he returned to his hand from previously. Now, I'm not sure whether Matthew will actually be able to close out the game with 3 cards in hand and only 1 land. Well, seriously, it doesn't seem like it will be go for lethal anytime soon. 12 life
No,
is
but yeah. Also no one of them has a clock, so Matthew is winning the race right now, but if Emerson starts activating his effort challenge for damage or life, which he's doing right now,
yeah.
or his terror flips, he will be far ahead from Matthew.
If Delver flips and then the losing 2 life or gaining 2 life from Death Rider Man, that's definitely looking like very much in favor for Emerson.
Yeah. He only has to be aware of price of progress of the Matthew's deck, since Blue at Delver runs 2 to 3 price of progress.
Young Pyromancer. Yeah, I believe we're having some. The players are having some lag here, which means they have to press F2 instead of being able to click done because the buttons don't show.
Yeah, that happens sometimes to me too. So now with Pyromancer, if Emerson doesn't have a removal and Matthew finds something like a Ponder or Brainstorm, he should be ahead again. And Delver is still not flipping.
Yep. Interesting that he would actually offer the trade against Young Pyromancer here.
Oh, Leovold.
That looks like pain in the ass.
Yeah. So it shuts off all the draw spells since he can only draw 1 card.
And
And whenever it becomes target, his opponent gets to draw a card.
every burn spell would mean that Emerson gets to draw a card.
No, it's only permanent you control. So
Whenever
Emerson.
Whenever you or a permanent.
You, okay. Yeah,
so
sure. So Matthew's going for a Ponder just to get the token.
Yep.
Oh, and you can scry 3 by shuffle. So you can look at the top 3 cards and choose to shuffle or not. So only the draw gets cancelled.
It appears Matthew is really asleep and doesn't really. Yeah.
Wow, 3 Delver flips. Because 3 times Delver didn't flip in a row. That's kinda unusual for Legacy.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll flip this tilter.
Yeah.
At least Emerson knows how to take it. Then again, I think he's in such a good position right now that he really doesn't need to be worrying.
Yeah, I can win through the non-Delver flip. So I think Emerson is eaten some sort of bug Delver now. So just checking this, it runs 27 spells to flip Delver.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit less than I expected, since in modern Delver you're running around 30 to 35 in the blue-white Delver decks, but since it's sorted Delver and it's Legacy,
Yep.
you have to run cards like Death Shaman or Leovold. The spray count goes down a little bit. Even when something like a Brainstorm Pounder would probably flip Delver. So you can set it up. That's one of the strength of Legacy cards.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And I only have 0 visions as Scry in Delver colors. Because the other cantrips like Fortscore and Sleight of Hand don't allow you to sort the top cards. In the Legacy we have Ponder and Brainstorm. And here we see a Force and Lightning Bolt.
And I think he actually drew the Force of Will from Leovold's trigger. Or he was only able to cast it because of Leovold's trigger.
Yeah, maybe. He
pitched the Daze, I believe.
No, he pitched you have to exile the card, so he exiled the second Force.
Oh, so yeah, he...
Yeah, he probably drew it since he would have revealed Delver. Delver if he would have drawn it in his roster.
Yep.
So both players at 8 life now, and will Delver flip? Yes, Delver flips.
And a Toxic Deluge here. That's kind of big as well, as it means all the tokens can be killed quite easily.
Yeah, Toxic Deluge for 1. Even kills Paramancer. So he is offering Leo Ward for Paramancer and token.
Matthew declines to take him up.
Yeah, Matthew is probably thinking about racing that now, since both players at pretty low life total. But now he gets to Toxic Deluge for 1, so with the reveal of Toxic Deluge, I would have blocked this Leo.
Yeah, I would have done so as well. I don't think I would have just let those creatures go to waste there.
Yeah. Now, if Matthew finds a price of progress and Emerson doesn't block with the effort channel, it would be lethal.
Hmm.
So let's see what if he has one of them in hand right now. Yeah, he will see the block. So Emerson probably know about this price I'm Matthew's deck. And he will see the price. But that still means that Matthews at next turn to leave Wolf and kill Delver.
Yeah, I think he could have even probably tapped that right shaman to gain another 2 life. Wait, no, he needed a mana for that.
Yeah. And
Right, I'm back. That's
yeah,
looking quite a lot better for Matthew here.
yeah, Matthew got Bob first kept the 7. And Matthew went to one volcanic island with Swift Spear and Stack Simple to get the Frost Trigger and see his hand and attack for 2.
Yep. Now, since it's look at target player's hand, we don't get to see the hand itself.
Yeah.
If it's something like reveal, then
Yeah, like when I play Fortnite here, it reveals the hands. So Matthew got to see it. When he records, so he recorded all 3 matches from me this season. And he always mentioned that Fortnite says reveal and not look. So it's kind of nice for him to see what I'm taking, what I trust. But with Probe, we don't get that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of when I'm recording, I might actually decide to like ask to look at players' hands. But right now, I'm trying out the Facebook live stream, which means that like looking at target players, looking at the players' hands could pose some risks, and I'm just taking the safe route here.
Yeah, but when
this is quite interesting, like exchange here with lots of counter spells coming back and forth over that fatal push.
yeah, it got taste from Matthew, but Emerson had the boss of him. And now Emerson tried to ponder, but Matthew had the days. And Emerson even had the second plan, so he could have paid.
Yeah, but he chose to play the ponder first to try and find whether he had a better land to play or
When you say Wasteland.
Wasteland coming down here again. And I think that's just really a big deal for Matthew here, that taking down that man. I don't think he has that much land in his deck.
Yeah, even Matthew dazed twice, so he got with 3 lands now, but he's at 1 because he dazed twice. And Wasteland kills his only land right now, and Emerson will untap next turn and get to 3 lands.
Yep. Oh, and a Tarmogoyf here. That is quite scary on an empty board with the opponent having no lands.
Yeah, and Tarmogoyf is such a fast clock, and even dodges board from Matthew's deck. Unlike Delva or Leovold, it can survive a board.
Yeah.
That's why a friend of mine is playing Horse Brew at Delva Legacy, and we talked a lot about the deck. Since he was playing Mono Red in Standard, and the Soulscar Mage is also seen playing Legacy now in Blue at Delva. Since when you have Soulscar Mage out and board the Tarmogoyf, it shrinks the Tarmogoyf. And you can block it with, it gets a 2-3 or 1-2 most of the times, and you can block it with your creatures more easily.
Yeah. No, we didn't see a third land from Emerson, but I think that at this point he's comfortably ahead.
Yeah. If it has something like push, days, Philosopher, there's even something like brainstorm or ponder. So his hand has to be some number of spells. And if it was a big creature, he would have run it out. So
Yeah, I don't think he'll have that many 3-drops in his deck that he'll have a handful of 3-drops or something. Seem to have lost connection. Alright, and Delver here from Matthew. That Dynamo is coming in for quite a lot of damage. Brainstorm. I like the art of Brainstorm that he shows. Third land. And the Delver. Now if we see a Delver flip, that's could be 3 damage, that would be 11. Price of Progress could deal 6 damage. That would bring him down to 5. Do see a Price of Progress being revealed here. But I don't think that's gonna be enough. He might be able to actually etch out the game if he doesn't die next turn. A young Pyromancer here. If he attacks, he's able to attack twice. Price of Progress will deal 6 damage, with 6 damage from Insectile Aberration. Of course, that's assuming that the opposing Delver doesn't flip. If the opposing Delver flips, then I think he's dead anyway. Days here is not gonna do it. It's just not gonna do a lot. Second Days here. So 2 Days for a Force of Will. All to be able to get that young Pyromancer in. So Matthew still only has 3 cards in hand at this point. All 3 of which we know it's 2 Volcanic Islands and it's that 1 Price of Progress. We didn't see a Delver flip here, we didn't see a Delver attack here either. Oh, and a Deadrite Shaman coming down for Emerson here, which will put him comfortably ahead in the life game, the life race. Now, judging from that land we see played here, we know that Matthew does not have anything in his hand except for 2 volcanic islands and a Price of Progress. Price of Progress can deal up to 6 damage and generate a token. But yeah, this is pretty much game. I would have cast Price of Progress there just to get that token so that you can shun block the Tadamoglyph here, but it does look like pretty much a lost situation. So Emerson going here for 6-0. Quite impressive. Taking down both Standard, Legacy. Well, can Price of Progress be used on creatures as well? Because that could mean... Oh yeah, so that's why we saw the mountain coming down here. I think I would have actually attacked with Insectile Liberations a couple of turns before, just to try and be able to it was to try and to be able to close out the game like that, but keeping back attackers does help there as well.